Hey, what's up, statistically males age 18 to 35? I'm Michael. I am a millennial. I'm 32 years old. I was born in 1992, which I learned this summer makes me old.
What year does someone have to be born in to be considered old?
I feel like 2001.
Yeah, 2001.
Okay, why 2001?
Because I feel like at that age you're just like old.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Where does someone have to be born in to be considered old?
Like 2002.
Like before 2000 to like 1995.
Now, I don't feel old. I don't think I'm old. I do have life experience, and as I've grown older, I realize that part of what we need to do is spread along valuable information. I've collected a bunch of knowledge. I need to spread it out. I have life experience. Some of it is, for example, today's topic of September 11, 2001. When I was living through it, I was in third grade. I can't remember. I was 9. I was 8 or 9. And so, but I do remember the day. The day stood out. I was at school, and we heard about these things happening, and in the afternoon, like this happened in the morning, like at 8 o'clock and then 11 o'clock in the morning, and we heard bad things. We heard that planes were crashing into things. We saw some images on the television screen. I personally didn't sit there and watch it for hours. Like in the school, we had like other classes and stuff, but it was kind of a weird day. And then my mom came to pick me and my sister up. We were in the Washington, D.C. area. At that time, we were living in Virginia, and so she didn't know what was going to happen next, if these were going to be the start of more attacks. We didn't know because it was one plane crash. Okay, that's an accident. And then 2 hours later, another plane crash happened. And then after that, you heard of it went into the Pentagon. And then by that time, it was like, well, this is a serious issue. And so we didn't know the day of. It was very confusing. But in retrospect, a lot's happened since then. That's just my own personal, recap of it. I want to zoom out. I want to talk about all the big stuff. I want to talk about Western values. Part of being old is having responsibilities, and one of those responsibilities is to pass along valuable information to younger generations. I'm choosing to do this recap of September 11, 2001 here in a video format so it can hopefully live on the internet for a long time. This will capture my thoughts on it as a person who lived through it, and then capture this for long term so people can see, what did people think about 9/11 in 2025, which is when this video is going to be released. The goal of this video is to cover what happened on September 11 and the events leading up to it, and why it was committed by an extremist Islamic terrorist led by Osama bin Laden, as well as he started a group called Al-Qaeda. And that is distinctly different than another group called the Taliban. The Taliban is in Afghanistan, and the U.S. government did not really know the difference back in 2001, 2002, 2003 between the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. But for today's purposes, I want to make it very clear. Al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden, were the people that did 9/11. Osama bin Laden was a bad guy, but he was a human, and we are going to treat him as such. His letters have been going around, things he wrote down and his views. That's been going around like on TikTok. And then Gen Z is kind of passing that around and saying, maybe this guy had a point. And I'm going to take this video to outline exactly where he was wrong and why that's not a good thing and why it's not coherent with Western values. If you don't know what Western values are, you need to do outside research from this, but I'll go over what specific Western values I'm talking about. Also, I'm going to talk about the difference between, in the year 2000, what we considered as a community, as a group, as the West, as America, to be important, and how that changed up until 2019. And it was largely changed because of 9/11 and then other world events. But I'm just going to talk about that for now. We're going to give Osama bin Laden an honest assessment, and I'm going to give you clear, rational reasons why anyone from the West, anyone who retains Western values, such as the value of innocent human life, would and should and did and does strongly oppose and disagree with Osama bin Laden. Sorry, that was a little bit of a word salad, but do you understand what I'm saying? That if you consider yourself as part of the West, that group should reject the ideas of Osama bin Laden. I will explain why.